Hey guys, so I have been peeping all of the holiday palettes that are coming out right now, and I saw the one that Tarte had for Ulta, and I was just instantly in love with three colors that I saw, and so I kind of just like happened to mention to my girlfriends, I think these holiday palettes are going to kill me because I really wanted this one and I know there are going to be others that I really like. And then my birthday was September 30th, and I look in my mail and my friend had sent me the Tarte palette, and I instantly like lost my bonkers because I really wasn't expecting it, and that was just so thoughtful. Like, I just really am so touched by everyone who supports my channel. It means so much, and I cannot believe I'm crying right now, but like, you guys don't even know how much it means to me to get everyone's support and like words of encouragement. It just I'm such a big baby, but thank you, Kristen. Thank you so much. Now I'm gonna have to fix my makeup. Not only did Kristen get me this palette, but also my coworkers got me a really nice gift card to Ulta, and then my sister got me a really nice gift card to Sephora, and then my friend Pat got me this little book of bronzers from Too Faced. So I've just had a really good birthday, and I'm just super duper emotional about it because you don't expect anything. I don't know. I'll get into that later, but for right now, let's talk about this palette because I'm super excited to review it and use it on my channel. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. This palette retails for $49, and it is exclusive to Ulta. Each of these little pans is 0.035 ounces. And so it's pretty, I think it's a pretty decent amount for a holiday palette, and plus you're getting like 24 different shades. So they're kind of small, but I feel like they're a good enough size. I've definitely seen much smaller pans in a gift set, so I'm not disappointed in this. Each of these is 0.084 ounces. The mascara is 0.16 ounces. Lip gloss is 0.034 ounces. So sample sizes, but I feel like, you're getting what you pay for. It's $49. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good deal for all of this. Let's talk about the packaging. I love it. I love this print. I love this fabric. I'm not sure what it is, but it reminds me of the things that like little girl ribbons are made out of, so I'm here for it. And then I love how like there's like this huge mirror, and it just like sits open. I wish more palettes would have a mirror that sat open on its own because I just feel like that's so convenient for like a vanity or just any surface. And this mirror is huge. And then I love how it also has this like separate drawer where you can pull out the products for the face, and then the sample of lip gloss, and this mascara. So I really adore this packaging. I think they really knocked it out of the park for a holiday set, because I saw some of the holiday sets that they had online, and then the one for Sephora, and I just didn't like how everything was like all in one place. Like, it doesn't look like I'm a neat freak, but I can be a neat freak, and I just like to have things separated. I think that might be a little touch of OCD because I just like my stuff separate. So with this palette, you get 24 different little colors, and it's 14 matte shades, 8 metallic shades, and 3 shimmer shades. Now, I know that comes out to 25, but every time I count this, I count it wrong somehow. And I think it's because I can't really tell if this is a shimmer or if it's metallic. But if anyone else has this palette and they can correct me, feel free to do so because I'm clearly confused. So I really love these colors. It was this color, and this one that when I saw this palette, I was like, oh, okay, I need that. I need that right now. But I also really like how each of these lines, like if you go down in columns, there's like a little quad, and you can make a really pretty look out of each of these columns. So that was one of the first things I noticed. Like, this is the one that I'm wearing today. And I could make a tutorial if you guys really want one, but I really didn't record myself putting on some makeup because I was just kind of playing around with this right now. I got this, so I got the palette on Friday, and I really needed some time to bond with it. So I've tried this look, this berry toned one, and then this warm toned one, because this color reminds me of Real Girl by Modern Renaissance, and you guys know how much I love Real Girl. But yeah, so there are multiple looks that you could do. You don't have to go down in these columns if you don't want to, but I think that's probably like what they intended. You can probably do like more than a dozen looks with this palette. It seems like the options are pretty limited. I feel like some of these colors aren't as women of color friendly as they could be, but we're gonna get to that when I do some live swatches. Some of these colors are kind of patchy. You just have to really build with these. Like, they're not perfect. I wouldn't say that the quality is as good as like the Tartelette and Bloom palette, because I think that one is perfection. This one, you really have to be willing to build up these colors. And it seems like it's mostly for the matte ones too. Like, the metallic ones and the shimmer ones are great, and they did everything that I wanted them to do. But the matte ones, you really have to build. And then these super duper pale ones just are not going to complement darker skin tones. I'm sorry about that, guys. This is the little side drawer, and this is the brush that came with the palette. I think it's a really nice soft synthetic brush, so I'm looking forward to incorporating it into my brush collection. I really love that they included it in this palette, so it really helps you complete like a full mascara. You guys know I have eyelash extensions, so I really can only use certain mascaras, and I can't use any that include oil in them, so I haven't been able to use this one, but I'm gonna ask my mom to try it out and give it a whirl. And then also, I really like this lip color. This is the one that I have on my lips right now. I just kind of did like a little ombre effect with a lip liner just so it could not be so dull, but I really love this pinky shade. It just reminds me, I just feel like it's like a nice little nude for most skin tones. I really do love mascaras like this, so I'm kind of bummed that I can't use it. On to this little palette. So this is the little palette that they included in the bottom drawer of this collector's edition, and I really love this highlight. This is the color that I'm wearing right now on my cheeks. And it's kind of like a little frosty color. So what I did was I put this like contour color down first, and then I kind of mixed it with the highlight. This blush I really haven't gotten any use out of, just because it's just so much lighter. It's definitely meant for people with lighter skin tones, and it's not, I don't think it's gonna show up that much on me. I really, really love the design of this and how it looks like it's like a painter's palette. I think that's so cute. Another thing I really like about this palette, and I didn't even notice it until I watched Emily Noel's video on the Tarte holiday collections, is that you can take out this little plastic divider and use this as like a drawer for other stuff. So if you want to fill this up with like other products, other brushes, and just take it on your holiday ski trip or whatever, you totally can, which I really appreciate because it's just so cute and compact. Why wouldn't you want to take it with you? One of the things I like to ask myself when I am going to review a palette on my channel is this palette good for beginners? And I'm going to say that it is, because there's so much variety, and I think it would be great to give someone who's just starting out with palettes, and they probably don't even need that many colors, but they can use all of the ones in here. So I think that it would be a good start and finish for someone's collection. I think it's pretty all-encompassing for eyeshadow colors. But to work with, I think it would be a little bit tricky for a beginner, because the colors are so patchy. I think they might get frustrated and be like, why isn't this applying that well? And so I think it's just something to keep in mind, that it's really good to use your fingers when you're working with patchy colors, because your finger picks up a lot more pigment than a brush would. If you scroll back and look at the swatches, you can see that the first dip of the swatch is like always the most pigmented one, and then the rest can get kind of patchy. But so that's why a lot of times you'll see me working with my fingers, just because I want to pick up the most product possible. Another thing that I like to ask myself is whether or not this palette is good for women of color. I'm gonna have to be honest and say that it's very so-so, because so many of the colors in this palette are very pale and not that pigmented. I don't think that they would show up on deeper skin colors. Like, I am probably medium toned for African Americans. I'm just kind of in the middle of the color spectrum. I'm not that dark, I'm not that light. And I just don't think that a lot of these colors would show up on me. You can see in the swatches that they just are barely there. So I don't think that it would work that great for women of color. The shades on the lower half of the palette, if I can get it open, these shades I think could work for darker skin tones, but these ones you're really not going to get any use out of. They're gonna come off patchy, and they're gonna come off really ashy looking, and I just don't think that that's very flattering. And also they're just so cool toned, and most times cool toned shadows just aren't that flattering on darker skin tones. They just look really ashy. So I'm not sure that this palette, I'm pretty positive that this palette is not going to be that flattering for women of darker skin tones. So I did a lot of research on the palette before I bought it, because I wanted, well, before I was gonna buy it, obviously. This was a gift from my friend. But before I was deciding that I really wanted it, I was doing a bunch of research, and I noticed that a lot of people on YouTube in the beauty community were saying that they didn't like the palette, and that they were disappointed, especially that it was made in China, and that they just didn't like the quality. But here's the thing. Holiday palettes can be very hit or miss, and I think that for the price, it's a really good palette. I don't think that you should walk up to the palette and expect it to be as high quality as Tarte Let in Bloom or just any other palette that they would release throughout the year, because holiday palettes are just different. That's just the nature of the beast. They want to give you a whole lot of products for a minimal price, and so the quality can be not so great, but I feel like if you're willing to work with this palette, then it'll be great. So in conclusion, I would absolutely give this palette as a gift to a makeup lover, someone who understands that holiday palettes can be kind of tricky sometimes, and who's willing to work with it. If they're a beginner, then just explain to them, you know, make sure that you're building those shades, and then it'll be great. So I really love this palette. I'm super excited to add it to my collection. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. If you have the palette, let me know in the comments what you think about it, if you're super disappointed or if you're very pleased with what you are getting in this palette. That's it for today's review video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big ol' thumbs up. Maybe even share it with a friend, because that would be super cool. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already so you can stay up to date on all my latest videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!